Yo, yo, what is good? Looks like we are live. Welcome to this special Sunday edition of Married with Issues Live.
64.
I'm Soldier Only.
We are getting pretty old. Now we're up to 64.
Yeah, we're getting up there.
You guys know the usual me, fuchsia, weird self?
Yeah, so once again, coming, we're live on a Sunday instead of our usual Saturday. But, yeah, because I actually ended up having to work.
Yes.
It was me having to work this time.
For the first Saturday in years. Because the last Saturday you had to work, we both worked.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I know, that kind of sucked. Because while I was doing comic stories, I knew where some of the books were, and I tried to prep, and my nerves got the best of me, and I mean, I still had a blast, but yeah, that's how that went down.
Yeah,
and,
I was definitely in your way, because where I work, it's here in the comic room, and
yeah, because this desk, the drawer comes out, and his work desk is right there, so even with this chair, it's like a thin sliver of space to get through in a hurry. Then I'm like, I only got 30 seconds. And then I was on my phone, and I didn't know how to turn the phone like sideways so that it would show like the whole picture instead of just like the zoomed out one. So I was having a really hard time reading the categories because of that. And then I was also having a really hard time even hearing in general, where I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, because that was your first time ever using your phone.
It was the first solo one too.
For oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, there was a solo category, and if it, yeah,
There's one in a solo.
Solo, and that's when I ran out to the living room because I could have sworn we had a Han Solo, yeah, but we didn't.
That would have been
another one. I panicked. Yesterday was full of panic, and I don't know why. I didn't mean to be so panicked. I can't control it, guys.
That one would have been a pretty good play for solo though, and pull out a Han Solo.
Right?
Yeah, that would have been good.
Even though nobody did, but
no one did.
Nope.
Yeah, I think it would have been good.
I don't know. I don't think anybody did.
I don't know. I've yet.
I'm already brain dead because I've been up since 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I had to work.
Yeah, you had to work early today.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's definitely been kind of like a different weekend, with me having to work Saturday.
Me working Sunday.
You working early Sunday today. Us doing the show, like we said, on Sunday.
I must admit, I really like that we're both working from home, though.
Yeah, it's been
really nice. It's saving us a lot of money and gas and everything, and I like that.
Yeah, me too. I'm definitely liking it. So, obviously, since I worked yesterday and she worked today, we obviously didn't make it to our LCS this week, so we kind of, and with this being issue 64, we kind of came up with the idea a few issues back for 64 that we would do a Nintendo 64 retrospective. Look back and
the
take a trip back to the mid-90s.
Nostalgia.
Yeah.
Hence Tweety Bird, Looney Tunes the best.
Yeah, because I think it's pretty safe to say that the Nintendo 64 and definitely one game in particular shaped quite a bit of our childhoods.
There's multiple
members of the community, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's definitely multiple because there's
Well, yeah, we'll get around to the games as well too, because Top 5 also returns this week when we do Top 5 Nintendo 60. Well, our Top 5 Nintendo 64 games. Yeah, and
I'm trying to pay attention to your format this time instead of bouncing all over the place like I usually do.
Oh no, trying to get the squirrel brains under control. No.
Just unified. They're all going on strike.
At least get them on the same book.
Get them in the same boat.
Get them in the same book. I'll worry about the same page later.
Right, for one panel at a time. Hey Carlito,
That's
good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Yo, Carlito, what's going on, homie?
I don't have much of a voice today. I think it's because I talked on the phone.
I know. I feel like mine is like weaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just raspy. I can't help it.
Yeah. So and then for books, as we were getting ready to come in here and set up, I was like, just grab a stack, because we have stacks of comic books everywhere, you know.
Oh yeah, especially after last night. I didn't put all the books away yet.
Yeah, with you being on Comic Corps, yeah.
I kind of did. Actually, no. There's a stack there, another stack there, and I brought them all into the same room. So there's a little effort.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that I had gathered. Actually, no, not all of them are in here because the other box of Sentimentals is still in there.
Yeah, that one's still in there.
I'll put those away
So,
eventually.
yeah, so I was like, just grab a random stack and we'll show it. Let's see what's in it.
I didn't grab any random stacks though. No, I forgot. I didn't realize we were actually gonna grab random stacks. But I can grab a random stack. Hope you're doing well, Carlito. Been sitting on your butt all day afternoon watching Abandon It. Ooh, that is a good show. I think I've seen it before. Abandoned Explorers on YouTube. I've been up since 6 a.m. because I had to work 7 to 4.
Abandoned Explorers. For a minute, I was thinking of...
Oh yeah, I guess I'll grab a stack.
Yeah, see, Carlito says, FYI, Pisha loved your Comic Corps appearance.
Thank you. I had a blast. I had a blast. My nerves got the best of me, but it was still fun. I really had a blast.
Yeah, her nerves were just a little too high because, like how we said, it was her first time joining a stream on mobile, but also, she also reminded me that it was also her first solo stream. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I think I must have grabbed a pretty sick random stack. Because this is a huge personal sentimental book and a favorite. Secret Wars number 10.
Thank you so much, though, by the way. I think your Catwoman cover should have won. Oh, thank you. I am still really shocked and surprised in myself for not using Selena Kyle as the female fatale.
The femme fatale.
Yeah.
Honestly, though...
But then, honestly, before I did the one that I did, I was really tempted to do this one. I was really tempted to do this one. Or this one, and I ended up going with the punchline.
Oh, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we actually just scored in a pretty awesome trade with Motor City Comics, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. I didn't want to butcher the name.
Yeah, because we had an extra Catwoman art germ.
What issue was it?
12? I want to say it's 12. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
it's 12.
it was his homage to her in her Golden Age suit. And it was an homage to an older Batman cover. I can't remember which one though.
Oh yeah, no, you're just as surprised as I was. Like when JoJo showed her book, I'm like, what am I? I was just like, what am I thinking? Like, I was not functioning very well yesterday.
You know what though? I think I rationalized it pretty well though when I told you like that could actually be a good strategy in Comic Corps though.
I still panicked.
Like, don't pick the book that everyone or the character that everyone expects you to pick.
How about you don't panic and you just have a good time and not panic? And I panicked, and because with me being on my phone, I couldn't see the Comic Corps, and I couldn't hear too well. I didn't know how to get it to like show like the full picture, and then I was in the bedroom instead of in here, and it's just multiple factors. But I still had a blast, and it was a good time, and I'd do it again. I am just as shocked as anybody that I didn't do Selena Kyle. Hey, Carol Gretzky! You guys, good to see you.
The misters
and then I
are
couldn't
here.
even see the chat either. I couldn't see any of the chat. So I was like I felt like I was in the dark.
Which is, we can definitely speak for ourselves on our own show. Chat's a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a majority of the reason of, why we do it and why we love doing live.
I'd still do it again. It's a fun show.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen it, definitely go watch the replay.
This is a good random stack that I grabbed. Speaking of which, I'm so stoked on this one. Gretzky sent us this one.
Yes, he did.
It's 301, ASM 301. Love this cover.
Isn't it? It really is, Carlito. And it was so weird because 20 minutes before I was just I was confident, I was fine. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna have a blast. And then the second I got into the StreamYard, I was like, and I couldn't talk, and
Yeah, Comic Corps is a trip.
It's like with our work, how we're on the phones. It's like while you're on the call and when you're listening to the call are two completely different things.
Yep.
That it's like there's completely different aspects that go into it. And I had in thought that, oh, you know, it's my third time on Categories. I have nothing to like be anxious or nervous about. And then I was just like, I can't see the categories. I need to zoom in on my phone to see what categories there are. And then there's a bunch of panic. But
Well, and not only your third appearance, but also, you know, me and you reigning couple gories
Yes.
champs.
That's a good time.
All right, I'm glad this one's in it.
Oh, girl, you should just say yes one of these days. Face it. Do it.
One of my favorite covers. And I think both copies we have of this cover, too, were A-okayed by Kavi, right?
That one was Steve writing.
Oh,
and
this
then,
one was Steve, right?
Yeah, and then
Oh,
the
that's
other
right.
one was Kavi.
All right, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
And this was D-Runk.
Yeah. And this one's actually double signed by Tom King and Mark Brooks.
I almost did this one for Female Fatale. Almost. But, yeah. I wasn't thinking yesterday.
So this one,
But it's still a good time.
this just reminded me when I was looking at the, I think it was the October solicitations. Marvel's going to be making, it's the Marvel art of Mark Brooks. It's like a
Oh, yeah.
monograph, I want to say.
I think so. If you can't tell, we didn't get the chance to go to our LCS this week since he worked yesterday and I worked today. It just wasn't in the cards.
Yeah,
But
so.
I know on my payday, no matter what, I am taking care of some business and it's going to go down and there's going to be a surprise.
So that famed surprise she's been
In a
working
matter of
on,
time.
that I have no clue.
I can't wait.
I don't know who
I
it's
really
from.
can't wait. You might cry.
I guess it is.
I might cry.
I guess it is from somebody in the community.
It is.
It's
It is
been-
from
it's
somebody
been-
in the community.
It's been going on for months.
Oh, God, it has been, right? Like,
Months and months.
because we're in August now and it was at least 3 months ago. 3 months ago. Maybe not
at
quite
the very
3.
least. I would think more like 3 or, well, no, maybe
I
around
would think
3.
2 or 3.
Yeah. It just feels like a bit
Hey,
longer.
Boat Right! Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. Hope you're having a lovely Sunday. Fun day.
Yeah, about right. Yeah, this one is actually a recent pickup. There's that lethal protector. I might actually send this one to CGC because this thing is
You should.
crispy.
I forgot I had
I
this
think that one
variant.
should get a 98.
And then I was going through the boxes and I found it. I like this variant. I'm slowly starting to like Harley more than I used to. I used to not really be the biggest fan of Harley, but lately I've just actually been starting to like her.
In the
I still don't
animated-
like Hellcat though, but Harley I'm starting to like.
Well, in the animated series, I know kind of started that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what?
But
So
also that series that's been going on with her and Ivy, I've been wanting to get that when it comes out in trade.
I've been wanting to read that
'Cause
too.
I didn't jump on it when it was coming out in single issues, but I
Yeah.
want to get that one in trade. Because I love Ivy, and I'm starting to like Harley more, that I think I would enjoy it.
There was a there were some awesome variants in that run too. What's his name? Oh, I'm totally brain farting on his name right now. He's an awesome cover art. You're starting to hear his name more, but he's not. He had that sick Ivy cover on that run.
Shannon.
Yeah, Shannon Mayer. There
I
you go.
remembered something.
Yeah, look at you
How
go.
is that possible?
Look at you
I'm
go.
brain dead, and it's been a really long day.
It's been a long
I
weekend.
got to bed a little later than I should have, but I still woke up in enough time for work, and I worked at like 7 and I was up at 6, so excuse me if I'm a little brain dead today. I'm just tired.
Yeah, a little more
Which
than
is
usual.
why it's like 6 o'clock and I'm drinking an energy drink. I still got more stuff to get done today.
I know, yeah, we haven't even really been able to read this weekend yet, because that's what I was getting to. So with how you've been starting to like Harley a bit more, when you finally start reading that current Batman series, you're going to start liking her even more.
I'm gonna have to read it. I definitely will have to read it. But speaking of Harley, there's also this stack that I grabbed. This was gifted to us as well, and it's so beautiful. It's as a birthday present.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Speaking of which, that's a Shannon Mare one, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you're right. About 0.25 in 2012 Venom book. Mm-hmm. McD! Hello! We missed you. Hope all is well.
Yeah, how's it going on, McD?
Hope all is well. So we had plans to get your package out to you, and then we had to pay other things, but we're still going to get it out to you here soon. Very soon.
Yeah, because
Probably within the next 2 months.
Yeah.
At least a month.
Yeah, because when I had my new job,
Yeah.
it screwed up with our rent and stuff too. But
It really did. Yeah, because that was the only thing that it was like the timing of you getting a new job made it to where it was like only 1 week at the old job and 1 week at the new job, where it's like they're bound to be the smallest checks because it's
actually
not
it wasn't
the
even
full
a full
pay
week.
period.
It was like 3 days at the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, so yeah, but you know we'll get that out to you. I can't wait.
I know.
Harley Quinn was canceled at issue 75 last Tuesday.
That's right. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. They canceled that one. We talked about this one I think 2 weeks ago when it was first announced, the Batman and the Outsiders. How I was bummed about that one because I've been.
Yeah, you've been really liking
I've been reading that.
one. Batman and
I jumped on it
Outsiders.
late too. I just recently jumped on it.
I've really been enjoying these. Monsters.
Yeah, since the beginning.
Yes,
Since
from like
literally,
the get-go.
yeah.
This was like the first series I picked up on my own when we got back into collecting. I love Monstrous. It's so good. I've posted that one to Facebook, to Instagram. Why was I about to say Facebook? Again, brain dead. I'm just.
Well, to be
tired.
fair, Married with Issues does have a Facebook page.
This is true.
Facebook.com/Married
This
with
one I
Issues.
haven't posted yet though. It has Kippa on the cover of it, and it's just so awesome, and I love it. See, and the lighting's so much better in here too. I didn't even know what the lighting looked like yesterday, and I couldn't stop shaking. Like, I'd be trying to show my book, and I'm like, my nerves.
Oh, McD says, wait, what's happening with Batman and the Outsiders?
Oh,
yeah, Batman and the Outsiders was canceled.
Super Russ!
Oh, yeah, and Gretzky
oh my goodness, Russ.
is right too. Batgirl was canceled as well.
I've got to say, you popping on Comigories last night was the best thing ever. Drop dead gorgeous. I loved that. Thank you so much for doing that, Russ. That was so awesome. It was great.
First cameo appearance of Rustina.
Yeah, it was good. I couldn't
know.
stop watching.
I was dying.
So good.
I mean, I didn't
I
see
love
it
how
live
it
though
was the
because
pillow in your shirt, and you were just like,
I mean,
it was
he
the
was
best.
even like I don't know when you something next to him though. He was like,
oh, you're incredible.
Because yeah, I didn't get to watch it live though because I was working, but it was after.
Yeah, I had to show him it after. I was like, you got to see this. It's like, you're not gonna believe it. It was great.
Oh, it was so good.
Yep, Batgirl's canceled too. No. What's the last issue?
That's what I was trying to remember. I think it's gonna end at.
That's a good question.
I can't remember if it's like 12 or 13. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember the exact one, but I know there's only going to be, I think at this point, like 1 or 2 more.
I hope they're able to at least finish up the story, because like wrap up the story plot of what's been going on, and not leave it with any cliffhangers like they usually do with movies.
I mean, hopefully there's enough time to where they can
best.
maybe change some stuff to where it just kind of ties it off better.
Maybe.
Because you know how solicitations are normally like 2 months, 3 months out?
Mm-hmm.
For that, it seems like short notice. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
even though the
ever
last book
since-
isn't coming out until another couple months.
Ever since, because of everything going on, it's like books that should have come out everything's just back. Like, it's hard to know what exactly what books are coming out, because there's so many that should have came out at a different time, but now they're just being out. It gets confusing. It's hard to keep track of everything ever since they shut everything down for that couple weeks and then kicked everything back up again. It's like,
and then DC
'cause it's
leaving
like,
Diamond,
even with this series, it usually is a good month apart, like once a month. And it was like when I got it last night, I think it was like bi-monthly, like a semi-monthly, where I got one at the beginning of the month and one at the end of the month. And I was surprised that the next issue was already out. And I'm like,
I remember that thinking like, wait a minute, Monsters Again already? Didn't you just get that?
Yeah, that's what my thought process was. Although the one series I have been enjoying that I think is really good and might possibly be underrated a little bit, but I really want the variant and the A cover for this book when we go next week to pick up our books. But it's Black Cat.
Oh yeah, the one.
Black Cat has been so good. I've actually really enjoyed this series.
Was it the one that came out this past week that had that cover?
Yeah, that had the iron metal.
It was a cover by Scan.
Suit, yeah.
Yeah, by the artist Scan.
And I think both covers for this Black Cat 12 are good. Both covers are good, and I've actually really been enjoying the series. What's your guys' thought on Tom King after his thoughtless tweet? He tweeted. I'm not on Twitter. I don't know what his tweet was.
I'm on Twitter, but I don't think I remember there was something that he did about.
I think he's getting ready for the G5. Oh, no, DC.
DC is getting ready for the G5.
I can't even read.
I know. I'm wondering because it's definitely looking that way, because I remember when the G5 was like starting being kind of like pitched and solicited and stuff, like a lot of fans didn't really seem like they were for it. And then they fired Dan Didio, and then they started saying that G5 they weren't going to do it, and then the pandemic, and then
you never know what to expect.
With them canceling as many big main series like that, like Batgirl, like a Batman book, like a the Harley Quinn one that was at 75. It was the 75th issue.
Makes me worried, because I much rather have a book in my hands than look it on my phone. Because I mean, like, I must admit, digital reading isn't too bad. It's kind of nice to get that clear of a picture on your phone while you're reading it, and you just like kind of swipe. But it's different when you're like actually sitting there with the book in your hand, you know, and it's like it's different.
Yeah.
It's like part of the reason why I cling on to DVDs. Like I used to VHS. I actually still have a few VHS.
I know.
Don't have a VHS player anymore.
We have a 4K TV, and I'm trying to get Blu-ray DVDs, and you're like, no, the regular ones are fine.
The Blu-ray's expensive.
Okay, they're a couple bucks more, yeah, but...
And a couple bucks adds up. That can be even more money.
For
on
comics.
Precious Comics. Exactly. Speaking of, he finally caught up on this series.
Oh yeah,
That's
finally been
really good.
Yeah, I finally have been reading Something is Killing the Children.
First printing. We actually have two number ones. The other one is the third or fourth printing. It's the yellow cover. It's in there.
Oh, for number one.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
Where she's like in the mouth and she's like knelt
there's-
down. Yeah. See.
I can't remember what printing
He
it was
finally-
though.
I want to say it was like the fourth or fifth. But he finally caught up on Something's Killing the Children, and it's been really good. Actually, I really love this series. I like it a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah, because you're not much you're definitely not as big of a fan of like monsters and horror stuff like as I am.
And that one's really cool. And then the one that I really wish. Oh yeah, I see. There's still three more. This one, I want to get one of these masks. The masks that she's wearing, I want one of those. That's the one I want to wear when I go out to places. Like,
I know that looked
I want
dope.
it so bad. It'd be so awesome to get it. And then there is 7. And yes,
You
I
definitely
love that
know-
one. Like,
you-
it's such
That's a
good
good
art.
cover.
But this
You
last
definitely know
one-
which one what mask I would want to wear. I've never seen anyone wear. I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually make him or do him, but
I know you said something about it, and I completely forgot. So.
Dr. Doom one.
Oh yeah, Doctor Doom. I'd wear like a Bane one too, though. Like, masks are cool. And then this is the last one that I really want the variant for. The variant on this one is gorgeous too, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna come across it. I still have to get the variant for Catwoman that just came out at issue 23, and it was gone at my LCS before I even had a chance to get it. My bad.
Exactly. There you go, Mr. Gretzky. DVD Blu-ray combo is best way to go.
Hmm.
Yeah, it sure is.
I agree, cause like We don't need everything to be so fancy. But I get it. I guess it's a much clearer picture and the sound is so much better.
Yeah.
Priorities. What you pay attention to, what I pay attention to.
I don't know, I forgot what I was just gonna say. Like,
I'm not sure. What were you going to say?
oh, that's what it was. Yeah. I was gonna shout out McDee's. It was a post on Instagram, wasn't it? The Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
When he was talking about that.
Yeah, I showed that to you earlier. When
Especially with this being such a video game centered issue of the show. I really want to play that game. I've seen a few people talking about it like that.
I still need to play Hellblade.
Yeah, Hellblade, Senua's
And
Sacrifice.
I need to play...
They're making a sequel to that. You knew that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
To that...
I think I knew.
To Hellblade. Yeah, there's going to be a sequel.
I'm not sure if I remember that. That could be new news for me.
It probably is.
I think it is.
Funny thing is, though, I know I've told you about that about 3 times before.
No, yeah, I don't doubt that one bit. I try to listen. I do my best, and it's like unless I'm on a phone call, it's really hard to listen. I don't know why.
I don't know.
It used to be complete opposite for years. It was like I was a really good.
I
used to be a
wanna-
great listener.
I almost
Nowadays,
wanna-
I'm like,
I almost want to put a poll out into the community, like, does Fuchsia really try and listen?
yes, I do. You smart ass.
I'm just kidding.
I know, I love you. Rather have you be a smart ass than a dumbass.
Right? And I'm usually the latter.
Ghost of Tsushima is hands down one of the best games I've ever played. Man, it's incredible. You definitely got to get it.
And that's
yeah.
the sentiment
And
I've been seeing.
We got some games to get into later too as well. I don't know when he wants to jump into the games, but
This is going to be a nice segue right here.
I got my top 5.
I still need to start reading this. Here's the Destiny hardcover. Destiny, the Comic Collection, Volume 1. I remember back when I was still streaming, when I was pretty much mainly a Destiny streamer, and they started doing comics, but it was digital only.
So when he went a little haywire on his own hiatus of not getting comic books, he got sucked into playing Destiny all the time. That I'd be the one going like, hey, let's go to the comic book store, and he'd be like, no, I'm playing Destiny, and I'm like, well, I want to go to the comic book store. So eventually I just went on my own, and that's when the first issue of Doom had came out, and I knew for a fact he didn't know about that one, and I had heard about that one, so I ordered that one for him to get him the kind of, hey, there's still comics, but
And it worked.
The Doom one. You should have seen the look on his face when I got back from the LCS that day, when I went all by myself and realized we had an overflow and like cleaning it out and everything. He had no idea that there was a Doom series going on. So I was like, oh, I got something to surprise you. And then he was just like, wait, what? It was great. He was not expecting a Doom series because you hadn't even heard of a Doom series. Like,
like a solo self-title, yeah.
You were utterly surprised, and it was so worth getting.
I mean, he's had kind of like his own series, but I don't think one named just Dr. Doom, because remember he was in Invincible Iron Man.
Yeah, those are in that stack, I think.
I almost wanted to say Superior, but Superior was Spider-Man, and Invincible Iron Man. I could be wrong, but
no,
my mind's not working.
Honestly, he's been playing more Destiny, and it makes me want to play because it's been a while since I've played, and I keep meaning to, and then I don't. Yeah, but I should.
I'm still trying to get our Destiny show that we used to have. I'm trying to get that off the ground again, bring that back. Because Destiny's definitely been a big part of it.
Yeah. You've been getting some killer games, Mr. Gutsky. Those old school ones, like that's so freaking awesome.
So McD says Tom King did a thoughtless tweet about Jay Lee and him being a part of Comicsgate, which he isn't even a part of. Okay, so yeah, that when you first asked, that's what came to my mind was the Jay Lee thing.
I'm so late and far behind when it comes to like
I am
news
on
on
that.
people.
Yeah, I am on that. I haven't been reading into that stuff too much, exactly everything that's been going on with that, but
I'm so
definitely
oblivious
yeah,
to
it
so much stuff, like constantly. I don't mean to be.
it definitely seemed like a dick move because he
Yeah.
pretty much outs him as part of this comicscape movement, which he isn't even a part of, and he's like throwing him under the bus for it. And it's his colleague. They both work at DC. Like it's his colleague.
Kind
It's
of like
not like he's like rival or yeah. And he's
uh,
like, dude, like I'm not even like part of that.
like,
Which I think I did see something. I think he did like publicly apologize too after. I don't know.
Is it kind of like how Rob Liefeld has been complaining about Marvel and why there's not going to be another Deadpool movie, and it's like, dude.
No, he's just a douchebag with little man syndrome.
Okay.
That's a different case.
I'm going to be honest. I don't care about it, McD. I thought it was an honest mistake. He apologized and doesn't need to be canceled for it. That's fair. The way I see it is live and let live. Just be kind to one another.
For real.
Like, always try to be nice, but never fail to be kind. You know, it's like...
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Saying,
No,
that quote.
there'll be multiple days where I'm working and I'll just get a mean customer after a mean customer. And since I'm able to, like, have my notepad and write, I'll often write, you know, like, always try to be nice, but never fail to be kind. Just to, like, ingrain it. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, and just, like, positive words and, like, affirmations. And there is one thing I shared on Facebook that I seriously want to print out on a poster and have it at my desk.
Oh, yeah.
I
need
want
this
it
too.
so bad. It's a picture I shared on Facebook of Spider-Man. Where did I get Spider-Man? That's a completely different series.
You actually do that a lot.
That's like a completely different fucking... At least I caught it this time.
You did this time.
I did it. It's a completely different field. But DC, it had Superman and Flash getting ready for the race. And then it had Batman, and he's getting ready for the race, and he has a little thought bubble that says, I am Batman. And it's like, confidence is key. It's like, even though Batman can't go near as fast as Flash and Superman, he's just, I am Batman.
But he's still pumping himself up. I'm Batman. Like,
oh, I love it so much. I want to get it printed out on a poster and just have it at my desk, because it's like, confidence is key, and it really is. It transcends. I don't even know what word I'm trying to say. Oh my goodness, I've been awake too long.
Yeah.
But transcends.
Yeah, and I'm kind of in the same ballpark as Super Russ as well. Because like I haven't even really read into
that too.
what Comicsgate actually is. You know, I mean, I've heard about it here and there.
I came across.
I kind of got an idea.
Yeah, same. I came across it on Instagram for like a brief second, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. And I think I brought it up to you, and you didn't know too much, and then we just didn't pursue more knowledge into it. Cause I knew it was something along the lines, because I think it was other people that I was following on Instagram in their stories. They were saying something about it and how like they were boycotting some of the creators that are a part of it. But I'm really not entirely sure what it is it's doing, or you know, how it's hurting or impacting, or what the angle is of what they're trying to do. Are they the good? Are they bad? You know,
what Carlito says right here is it pretty much sums up why I don't know much about it. Is Carlito says, Russ, it's not worth your time, buddy. Only good stuff in this aura.
Right.
You know, like I try and keep as much
That's
negativity
live and
out.
let live. Love is love, and just be happy. Be kind to one another. Always. Live and let live.
Exactly.
And then live it, love it, share it.
I like that one too. Yeah.
Or
live it, love it, share it.
There's also like live it, read it, or like read it, love it, share it.
Yeah, what was that one?
Read it, love it, share it. I love that one too.
Yeah, like read the book, share it, you know, talk about it.
Read the book, love the book,
love it,
share the book. But you know, it's hard sometimes, you know, especially with everything going on in the world today. It's getting harder not to be so divided, and
for real.
Yeah. So I just kind of stick to the sunny side, you know. There's a silver lining somewhere. The glass is half full. This too may pass, even though it may be more like a kidney stone. It'll still pass.
It still passes.
So. It's basically a bunch. Okay, I get that. That makes sense. Were we gonna get into our top 5?
Yeah. So first,
Yes.
That's where I'm starting. So Nintendo 64 retrospective.
Yes, because he was saying that I forgot something. What you were gonna say?
Oh,
I don't remember.
Yeah.
My thoughts just completely derailed and they
I
went down.
I
They
saw
were
that
gone.
that plane go down.
I don't know if there's a recovery from that. I don't even remember what I was trying to say. This is
Um,
what happens when you don't get enough sleep and wake up at 6 a.m.
for real. So
It's a miracle
the
I
first
even got
thing
up for work on time, anyways.
the first thing I know that was a small miracle.
It was a big
It
miracle.
was a big miracle, actually.
It was a lot of hard work. But yeah, what
So,
were you
yeah.
gonna say about 64?
First thing I think of when I think of Nintendo 64 is probably going to be.
Isn't
It's
it
going to
like-
be pretty similar with a lot of us here, and
Isn't it
it's
like
GoldenEye 007. I mean, in junior high,
Isn't it
What?
like an anniversary though?
was there? Well, the
Or was
reason
it-
why I thought of talking about the 64 is because this is issue 64.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's what I was getting at earlier. That's what I was gonna try and say because I thought for some reason I thought it was that it was like. Oh no, that doesn't make any sense.
What? No, I think I saw
I
somewhere.
promise, guys. I've been taking my meds. I'm just tired. Yeah, but that game was iconic and is actually an honorable mention out of my top 5. I love 007. I think it is just that.
I almost want to say though, we might have just passed the anniversary of the console. Maybe I don't know. I'll have to look into it because I know it was like the mid '90s.
It hasn't been 60 years since the
No.
mid 90s, so it's like.
No.
Well,
I
see,
feel
there
old,
I
but
go. There I go thinking, oh, it's 64. It's gonna be an anniversary of 64 years, and I just can't even function, guys. I'm a dead.
64 is the bits.
I know.
It was a
I'm
64-bit
dead.
console.
I'm dead.
All
I'm
right, so
just a fish in the sea. I'm not even swimming. I'm just floating there.
yeah, so God, it was so fun back in the day. Because with the 64, you had 4 controller ports. So you and 3 of your homies, split screen, GoldenEye.
Well, and you would always get accused of looking at the other guy's screen to find out where if you're getting really good at sniping him. I know that was a big thing with me and my siblings. It's like, quit looking at my screen. No, quit looking at my screen. And it just
In
it
the
was
in the
fun.
in the funnest level, I can't remember the name of it, but the funnest level was the one. It was like the facility, the one that had like the bathroom, and I would always plant mines on the back of the stall doors, so people would go into the bathroom, and then you could remote detonate them.
Yeah.
So I'd wait until I would see one of them up in the
Sadistic.
bathroom.
Maybe
Yeah.
not that word, but possibly. There's one.
Oh, Russ actually
That-
missed the 64 console. He went from NES to Sega.
I loved the Nintendo 64. There's one that he had asked me. We were sitting on the couch and he was prepping for the show and he's like, would you be able to do it? And the way he asked, it was just like a yes or no. And instead, I go through the process of answering all the answering my top 5. And
You're just throwing
One
out
of
game
'em.
names.
yeah, so he asked me the question, can you do this, yes or no? And I'm like, okay, this one, that one, that one. He's like, you're still not answering my question. I'm like, but I'm doing it right now.
You're just
Anyways, to the point, it was Doom that I knew I played Doom on 64, but he didn't realize that Doom was out on 64.
well,
but it was
my
like an older
first
one.
Doom, I always remember playing it on PC back in the day.
My first Doom was Nintendo 64. We got it for Christmas one year, and it scared me for a little bit, but then I continued to play.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like Doom. Doom was fun. But then compared to all of the other games that I have on my list, it's like so
yeah.
different.
Well, we'll get to the actual top 5 here in a second, but
I'm not
ju- just kind of about the console as a whole. When I was looking back at
agree with you, Garrett.
all the games that came out for this console, like there was a lot of really good games, a lot of innovative games, a lot of games ahead of their time.
There's still one. Oh my god, you guys. I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you
One
saying?
of my favorite games of all time actually is from this era,
There's one that
which I'll get to in the
I went down a
top
rabbit
5.
hole on the internet web last night when I started naming these off because there was a racing game.
Yeah, maybe
that
they can
I
help us with
played.
this.
There was a racing game that I played where it was like Mini Coopers and you can like choose the lane, and it wasn't your typical racing game. It was all regular vehicles, like like a sedan, a Mini Cooper. You know, they weren't any fast, expensive
And it
Porsche
was PS1.
speed racer cars. It was all just normal, regular cars, like a Trailblazer, a Mini Cooper, a sedan, and you know, it was all just normal cars. And you just like all the maps were all over the country, but there was a soundtrack to it where you could even pick which music you wanted playing while you were racing. And I swear there was a title of one song that I would listen to the most because I just found it so interesting at the time. I haven't heard it since, but the name of it is Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. And I can't find the video game that it was on. I know it's that. I know for a fact it was named that, but I can't find it anywhere. So I'm at a loss.
So it was around, like, it was PlayStation 1 or 2, right? You couldn't remember if it was PS1 or 2?
It was around the early 2000s.
So early 2000s.
Cause it was long before I got into high school. It was like going...
And you guys never had a Dreamcast, right?
No.
Because that was $9,999, September 9th, 1999.
$9.99.
I was
Are
one
you
of
out of
the
your mind?
I was one of the dumbasses who was waiting in line.
Do you remember the McDonald's ad where it was like $1.99? Are you out of your mind? We're old. We were so old.
Yeah,
You
there's
made me get distracted.
where was it? Yeah, I love Mr. Garrow's comment here. Like, I never even saw Goldeneye. Am I less a person for that? I wouldn't say less a person. I would just say deprived, maybe.
Yeah.
Because some of
Under a
my
rock.
not only like some of my favorite moments of childhood, but also some of my favorite times, like in gaming. Period, was back then. What?
One of your favorites, and then I realized Super Mario was one of mine. It's probably like my number one, but then I just had that image of that kid on that Facebook video where he's running super fast and he's going do 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 do.
I almost don't even want to explain it. I wish I could just
Like,
put it up right now.
I wish I could too, because it shouldn't be funny. It's cruel, but
That kid probably died.
no,
He might have.
Not that bad.
I know.
But yeah, no, it popped into my head and it made me laugh, and that's all.
Yeah, once we get once I get my desktop and yeah, we get OBS set up a little bit better and all that, we'll eventually be able to play the video right here.
Yes. And then
But yeah, so this console had a lot of games that really ahead of their time, and you just mentioned one, Super Mario 64. And if I remember correctly, I think that was actually a launch title.
You know, wasn't there a Super Mario shirt where it was like it was one of the stars and it's just the shirt? I think there was.
I think
want
so.
it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
So it was either a launch title or it came out really soon, really fast after the 64 came out. And I remember playing that game for the first time. It was the first like 3-dimensional Mario. That was the one when you go into the world, you like jump through the paintings.
Go down.
And
the
it was just
tunnels.
really ahead of its time, and it innovated 3D platforming and kind of open world exploration kind of type games.
Yeah, it really did. It was a shift change from. It was like the next big thing. You know, there's always going to be the next big thing that something comes out and it's improved and it's even better. But I mean, it just.
Speaking of which, we're getting that this year. This fall, we're getting into the next generation of consoles with...
I agree with you 100%, Carlito. Movies have... Yeah, that's 100%. I am in love with so many movies. You still need to see Happily Ever After. That is just like one of my favorite kid movies. It's animated, but you still need to see it. And My Neighbor Totoro and Howl's Moving Castle and a bunch of those too. But yeah, no, I really like movies.
Yeah, we're both pretty big movie buffs as well too.
Which is something I'm kind of trying to get in the works of starting to do. Like the name of it would be Real Pixels, and it's like
real, like REEL, like a movie reel.
Yeah, like a movie reel, and it'd be Real Pixels, and then it'd be like getting pixelated and just a short clip video of a movie as like a brief description as to why I love it so much, or you should see it, or
Just
why I recommend it.
Just
or
a show about movies.
Yeah, pretty much. Just a pre-recorded show about movies, so I haven't actually gotten it all together yet, but it's in the works, so it's almost there.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things in the works, actually, a few different shows.
I
We have a new merch store in the works.
don't think so, but I'm gonna have to look that up.
What?
I noticed there was another one too that I need to look up.
Oh, yeah.
There's two that I
Cruisin'-
missed.
Cruisin' Exotica. Cruisin' was one of the ones that I threw at you, but you didn't think it was.
There was two of them because I went down the rabbit hole of like 15 different games that would have been around the right era. But I noticed when I looked them up again today that there was one that I missed, and so I'm gonna have to look into Cruisin' Exodia. Like,
Yeah, Mr. Garrell says, and I think I saw him talk about this on their show. In Vegas, we had the Sega channel. It was great. I stayed on that for a long time. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Yeah, I don't know if I
I'm
remember
gonna have
that.
to look that up though, because I am determined to find out what it was. Because I know it was like a punk rock song too. It was like grunge punk rock.
It sounds like the title of like a Butthole Surfers or like a Beck song.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
it just reminds me of like those bands.
It was like the other band where it's like They're Coming to Take Me Away, another punk rock
I
band.
want to say like Social Distortion or
I
something,
think
but no,
so. Yeah.
it's
I love that one where it's like They're coming to take me away.
Way hee hee, they're coming to take me away, haha.
Oh, yeah, I've been to the
Yeah.
Funny Farm before, twice.
Yeah, Carlito says you
It's
should
not
have a
as fun
guest
as it
on at
sounds.
some point. Yeah, we
Yeah.
we definitely have been wanting to do more guests and interacting with the community stuff.
Agreed.
Right now, we need to run some test streams with somebody, so we can get like when Gretzky was on with us
Yes.
most recently.
And it's like when I was on Commodores last.
He was having like a echo.
Yeah, that's true. I know when I was on Commodores last night, I was saying how we want to start doing like an open invite where we just hang out and talk about anything and everything, and we just hop on, and whoever wants to join the conversation, hop on with us. And
Which
chill.
we'd probably do that on like Sundays, like just like a random Sunday, maybe every other Sunday or one Sunday a month, like.
Or maybe a Tuesday or a Monday or whatever day.
Yeah, because that's kind of
Someday has
the
to come
biggest
eventually,
thing.
one of these days.
That's kind of the
sooner or
biggest
later.
thing with all the shows and everything we have in the works, is what goes where. You know, like what show goes on what day and what one's live, what one's
Alright,
pre-recorded.
Have a great night, Super Russ. Thanks so much for joining us. Be safe and be kind.
Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out, Russ. We love you. Have a
then-
good night.
I really only had three other games since you got sidetracked, but the other ones that I had for Nintendo 64 was Donkey Kong and Pokemon Stadium and then The Legend of Zelda. And those were the ones that I played the most.
Yeah, so once again, you didn't do your top 5 in rank
Look at
again.
this.
But
These are my notes with my crappy handwriting. See? So those are my notes. And then you see how many of those he has? He has like, what, 5?
6.
6. Fool. I'm like, that's a lot.
Well,
You could write a novel.
okay, so I actually put mine in ranking, which is the whole point of a top 5. You know,
Not to me. A top 5 is just a top 5. Hey, they made it all in the same group. They're just happy to be included.
That's true. I mean, yeah, to some extent, but okay, so 5, I'll have to put WrestleMania 2000. The Nintendo 64 WWE games, well, at the time, WWF,
I agree with you, Carlito.
were so
COVID.
good and ahead of their times, too.
I agree with you, though. COVID delaying my webcam, but I've gotten tons of ideas swirling around my head, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many books that I want out, and everything's been delayed. Like, we realized last night, I didn't mean to cut you off in the middle of your thing, but we realized last night that we would have already had Black Widow out,
Yeah, we'd
and
have
we would have
Winter
already
Soldier.
had Winter Soldier and
We'd have WandaVision out.
WandaVision, and it's like it saddens my heart that we haven't been able to see it because of this stupid thing.
I know.
Wear a mask. Be kind.
Well, yeah, and this other idea, here's kind of an insider thing. Another thing I've been kicking around most recently this week is how I've always wanted to do kind of podcast format show with people in the community, like, you know, get a teams and people together where it's like the same ones every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've been
Like what
'cause how we've
Direct
been throwing
Edition
around-
Squad used to be.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how I was throwing out the name,
There's got to be ideas.
the
I'm
Prodigal Nerd, because how I collected growing up and then, was out of it for 10, 15 years, whatever it was, but then came back
Right.
to collecting like the Prodigal Son. But yeah,
Hardly do.
Prodigal Nerd Podcast, because I've noticed a lot of people in the community, it's like that for them too. Like they collected growing up, they left for whatever reason and then came back.
Carlito's on your side. That he likes to rank his too out of OCD. See, my OCD is different. Like my OCD has to be like wrapping a package is just so smooth and perfectly folded and nice and neat.
Your
and put
OCD is a
away.
trip because it's like super severe at some times.
And then at others it's like lax.
Yeah, but then at other times I think it's going to drive you bonkers, but you're just like... And it's funny because mine does that sometimes too.
I don't know what the difference is. Sometimes it just doesn't bug me and other times it does.
I know. Yeah, I'm the same way. Okay, so here's Gretzky's top 5. Let's see. I'm curious about this because, yeah, Gretzky loves... he's like the vintage video game
You see,
master.
and
of
I
the
remember
community.
always playing Pokemon, and I loved Jigglypuff, and how Jigglypuff would sing the song, and then they put him to sleep.
Mhm.
I love that. And then Donkey Kong too, because Donkey Kong is a classic.
So it looks like Gretzky at 5 has Wayne Gretzky 3D. Number 4, Diddy Kong Racing. Mario Kart 64 at number 3. F1 Pole Position 64 at number 2. And Super Smash Bros. Number 1. Smash Brothers, I was trying to get it onto my top 5, but
Smash Brothers was awesome.
It's definitely would be on my honorable mention for sure.
Sorry, I gotta message the mamas.
So yeah, at number 5, yeah, like I said, I have WrestleMania 2000. The wrestling games back then were so awesome. I mean, a lot of the mechanics those games implemented are still being used in the wrestling games to this day, and it's kind of ironic though that that's actually the WrestleMania we went to was WrestleMania 2000, the one in Anaheim, which it was technically WrestleMania 16, I believe. So for number 4, I did a Star Wars Rogue Squadron, and
I'm still somewhat paying attention. My bad.
You're fine. This game, the thing with this game, when it first came out, I just remember being blown away by like the frame rate and everything, how they portrayed how fast the X-Wings and everything was going. And for a Star Wars fan, I mean, I'm pretty sure this might have been the first, well, maybe not ever. It was the first time that we were able to pilot an X-Wing.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I mean, I'm sure there was probably like arcade games or something before that, but probably the first time on home console though, I would think. So for number 3 is where I placed Super Mario 64.
I'm back.
Now, 1 and 2 for me can swap any given day of the week. The one that I wrote down though, the one that I put at number 2 is the game I was talking about earlier. The one that I said that's one of my favorite games of all time. How I said one of my favorite games from all time is from this era.
You always set me up for failure.
I'm not expecting you to say anything. Don't.
Like I'm supposed to know. I know you told
I'm
me.
explaining it to the viewers and listeners more than I am you.
Well, yeah.
But Zelda.
That's dedication, guys. That's
The Legend
hard.
of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Putting me on the spotlight with things I don't remember. I seriously want to get a tape recorder and just start
I think that's.
random. But yeah, no, that I do remember you saying that. I just doesn't come to mind.
Ocarina of Time would actually be.
Hey, John's Comics with Kids. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you for the brief moment.
Hey, John. Yeah, John. John says if you don't put GoldenEye as the best N64 game, then we can't be friends. Oh, don't worry. Don't you worry.
007. Oh, you see, look at this.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to see this. The writing's too small. But yeah, number 1 on there is GoldenEye 007.
His notes compared to mine, my handwriting sucks, but his is all nice and neat. And he had 6 6 of these things, all like full, like this.
These are the smaller cards too. We have
Yeah.
bigger ones that we're gonna start using.
I tell you guys, I am not joking. He's an overachiever. He'll go like head first into anything, and then just like total excess.
Well, the reason
and
why
it's still, I love you for it, but yeah, I don't know why I'm complaining.
the reason why mine
Just tired.
are really long on this is because some of the news that I wrote down a lot of the details of the
Right.
of the report,
Yeah, that's true.
especially this first one. So this first bit of news right there
Hmm.
is actually the first 3 cards. It's just on that one bit of news.
I don't know what to do with you some days, but I love you. One panel at a time. We just turn the page.
Yeah, Gretzky says, I need the Zelda game in Castlevania. Yeah. Zelda Ocarina of
GoldenEye was
Time.
really good.
Zelda Ocarina of Time was easy. Yeah, it had to have been the first game that I put over 100 hours in.
I have the worst memory, so you have to remember the one that he did. The other one I can find, but I know the other one I need to look up.
For,
The cruising. Okay.
oh, yeah,
I might
it was-
remember it.
It was like
That's the
Cruising
biggest
Exotic.
lie I tell myself, is that I'm going to remember something, and I never do. So if I forget, just mental note. That's what it is. His hair's longer than mine.
Oh, McD says, I need a SNES again. Need to play TMNT Turtles in Time. Oh, you know where we saw that arcade at Walmart that had the Turtles game?
That was dope. It was the one that Jabroni got.
Jabroni has, yeah.
Jabroni has one.
And what was the other one? There was 2 dope cabinets there. There was the Turtles one, and what was the other one?
Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man.
Was it Pac-Man?
Yeah.
I almost wanted to say like Avengers, but it wasn't that.
No, it was,
yeah.
it was Pac-Man. I'm
Okay.
pretty certain. That bar that Jill and Josh go to all the time, where there's an arcade underneath the bar, is old school arcade. Like, it has like the hockey table and the old games.
It has old
Yeah.
Donkey Kong and Pac-Man
Like,
cabinets.
a bunch of them that
Yeah.
are just like somehow still working, but they have signs on multiple of them that if it takes your quarters and doesn't work, that's at your own loss. Which is, to be fair, considering how old all of the games are. But I remember going there one time when I was playing Miss Pac-Man, and it was a lot of fun.
I know, so much fun.
Some good stuff.
I really want to get those those mini arcade cabinets from Walmart.
Have you seen those other ones where it's like the water and the point thing, the little ring thingies, and you have to get it? Like, you like push a button and it like moves the thing up, and you're trying to...
Oh, you mean like the
like little handheld, like...
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of the word right now.
I
what
used
they're
to
called.
play with one of those all the time. I
Yeah.
don't know why that has anything to do with anything, but it just popped into my head.
I know Carly was like, what was that background music that was just on? I was like, I don't know. It's so I found
He does it.
it's a music for creators playlist on YouTube. So it's a copyright free, royalty free, playlist on YouTube. It said the playlist was all like hip hop and lo-fi hip hop, but the last couple definitely didn't sound like that.
I honestly haven't been
But
paying
yeah.
attention.
I was surprised by this.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Garrell said, where'd it go? I've never played a Zelda game ever.
What?
Garrell, I'm kind of surprised by that.
How?
Yeah.
What? Like,
Yeah, some of my
Okay.
all-time favorite, for real, like
Zelda
Ocarina
was
of
the
Time
best,
is...
and always breaking the lamp, the vases.
Mhm.
Just always breaking them all. Man, you missed out.
That's the
You
whole
must have been
reason.
deprived.
That's the whole reason
Like,
I wanted to
I was
get...
deprived when it comes to certain stuff though too, because like he introduced me to Boondock Saints. I had never seen that one until I met you.
one of my favorite films of all time.
It can vary.
So they, I mean, the whole reason I wanted to get a Switch, we still haven't yet, but the whole reason I wanted to get a Switch was for that most recent Zelda game. I can't remember what the name of that
What
one
was Zelda?
But yeah, it was for a Zelda game though.
I got into Postal Service Band because of a PS2 NHL hockey game. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, Postal Service. Yeah, you listen to them, don't they? It was the same singer from Death Cab for Cutie.
Yes. I've listened to him a few times.
What's the name of that song?
Children shouldn't play with dead things.
No. When he's
I gotta find where that song is at. I know it exists.
drop it.
I know it exists.
When he's like, he steadied his rifle with a target in the center and became famous on that day in November. When he's talking about
You might have
Oswald.
to tell me. You might have to tell
He's
me
talking about
later.
he's singing about the Kennedy assassination.
Okay. I think you have told me that. That sounds
Yeah.
vaguely familiar. I'm going to mispronounce this. Ocarina? Oh, you read it. There's Ocarina, the OC, or
Yeah, it's the Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina. I don't know why I was having
Well,
a hard time
it's-
saying
Yeah, I don't
that.
know if it's Ocarina or Ocarina. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Hell, I think I've pronounced it both ways just on this show.
I wasn't
today.
sure how to pronounce it, but I was going for it. It's like, I am Batman. Confidence is key.
Who I
He's
didn't see who said it though, or
But did you have any other news to go over or anything?
well, yeah, no, we haven't even.
Because I kind of got to go get meds.
I know. So
It's
actually,
been such a long day.
I'm gonna run by my pressing issue this week real quick.
Okay, that
So,
sounds good.
In the solicitation, I recently. Yeah, it's the stuff it was the solicitations for what will come out in October. Keanu Reeves,
Oh yeah, that's
uh,
right.
his comic book
No,
industry debut.
Paperboy is the best game ever, Carlito. I played that all the time.
Oh yeah.
That one was a good
You know
one.
what though? Like I mainly only played the NES one. I didn't because they made like a version for the 60. I think the 64 had one or the
There
Super
was-
Nintendo had one because there was other ones for.
When I got Paperboy when it first came out, and I played it all the time, and then later down the road on I think a different console, I had a game. It was still on PlayStation, but it was like a retro game in one. So it had like 3 or 4 different games where Paperboy was one of them, and then there was like a ball rolling one and a castle one, and they were fun.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of hours playing those over Christmas weekend.
Yeah, Carlito
because
says
that's when it was to play.
I love lo-fi chill. Some of the hip hop is okay sometimes. I've been finding some pretty good instrumentals and stuff.
You
a lot
have
of the,
been. Wait,
A lot of the different places I found a lot of like the copyright free stuff and
you have been.
the one I wanted to use it as our intro for this one today, but I couldn't find it in enough time. But it's the background music on the preview for this issue that I posted on Instagram yesterday, I believe. But the song to that
days
was
blur
a sick
together.
beat, and I like that beat so much it might become our.
It could be.
It might be our theme. Well, not theme song, but yeah.
So honestly, I did a post on Facebook on Insta. See what is wrong with me? I can't function.
That's twice you.
I know I am not functioning at max capacity or whatever that is. I was getting ready to do a post on Instagram for the show, and right as I was about to hit post, he says, "Hey, can we move it back a half hour?" I'm like, "Are you serious? I just edited this whole freaking ad thing to do a post," and then I was like, "Well, I guess I can use that extra half hour to edit it," and I made it up, but it's just my luck. The one time I actually go out of my way to do something for the show, to be more of a participant in our own show, he throws a wrench.
I know.
But it still works, so I'm okay
Exactly.
with it. It's okay. It's good issues.
So yeah,
Good issues.
yeah, Keanu Reeves, he's
That's interesting. Keanu Reeves writing a book.
writing his first comic book. Yeah, it comes out
I
October.
really like Keanu Reeves as a person.
I do too.
I totally did not mean to mispronounce his name there.
Did you? I didn't. Or-
I don't know. I might have. It kind of sounded. I could have.
Yeah, he seems really humble and level, down to earth, and
Yeah.
dude,
Agreed.
I watched this clip once of his training for like the John Wick films. He gets trained by like some of the.
Have you seen the meme where he's drinking he's at like a outside cafe, and there's like wine in the glass but water in the bottle, or it's like vice versa, and it's like a light and it's like shining on Keanu Reeves. It's like
Sitting there, turn water to wine.
I love Keanu Reeves as a person. I'm
I do
definitely
too.
gonna want to pick that book up and give it a shot, because he's a good actor, and you
He
can
is.
tell he has really good morals and integrity that a lot of people lack these days. But it's just he's one that's stuck through, you know,
Yeah.
and he's been through a lot too.
Yeah. And he really wants to be in the MCU. And the MCU, Marvel Studios really wants him in the MCU. They're trying to find a fit.
I think they are eventually going to find one, and it's going to be the best one, because you can tell with it taking so long that they want it to be one of those. He was born to be that character, like how Robert pulled off
RDJ,
pulled
Tony
off
Stark.
pulled off Iron Man, and then even Deadpool and
Born to Play.
Scott Lang.
I think Keanu Reeves could be born to play Mark Spector. I think he'd be a killer Moon Knight.
I agree. I think he would be really good.
Yeah.
Speaking of, there was
even his Adam Warlock. If he ends up being Adam Warlock, I could see that one being.
There was a story, like I was watching part of John's show with the Comic Corps, and it was like this thing where they did like a brief description. I can't talk. A brief description of a book or like of a story, and then you had to guess which character it was, and one of them was Moon Knight, and I thought it was kind of funny. I'm like, oh, that's the. Yeah.
So they just say a little snippet of like the plot, and then you have to guess.
In a sense, yeah. Like
what character?
Yeah, in a sense, it's like how describe a movie. And,
I just didn't know if they were
I
didn't know if they were guessing like the specific run.
No, just
or
the
if
character.
It's just the character. Okay.
Just the story and the character. I'm pretty sure, because like those other ones where it's like a horribly describe a movie plot or something or other. Yeah, it was like kind of like with those, but it was Moon Knight was one of them.
Yeah, Geralt Soldier, check them DMs. I'm getting ready. Are you? I think he might be talking about Destiny, because I logged in. I log in last night, and like your little alerts and everything. It's like your friend Mr. Geralt is playing Destiny, and I'm like, attaboy. I knew you were gonna get sucked back in sooner or later.
For real.
Okay, so that was the pressing issues part. That was my pressing issues for this week. But so the first news thing. I did make a banner for this one.
I don't think you get the news.
Okay,
no news for you.
I'm trying to remember. I could have sworn I wrote down where I read this report, but maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't see it. So, Marina Baccarin, so Vanessa from the Deadpool films, likely to be recast for future Deadpool. I didn't even tell you this yet, huh? You probably haven't even heard a lot of this.
I think you did tell me.
Vanessa likely to be recast for future Deadpool movies with an A-list star. Even though the two Fox movies earned over $1.5 billion combined at the box office and turned a character that wasn't particularly well known among general audiences into one of the most popular superheroes on the planet, now that they finally have the rights to Deadpool under their control, Marvel Studios are under no obligation whatsoever to acknowledge the Fox films at all. Ryan Reynolds is currently the only talent officially attached to Deadpool 3 in any sort of capacity. And while several core members of the Merc with a Mouth supporting cast have been rumored to return, there's every chance that lost my place. There's every chance that Marvel could simply choose to wipe the slate clean and have Wade Wilson himself as the only familiar face in his brand new sandbox.
Is sandbox? That's interesting.
While it looked like some time travel shenanigans would have seen Marina Baccarin's Vanessa return in Fox's Deadpool 3, the MCU's version now looks unlikely to pick up any of those dangling plot threads. Vanessa has been linked to a role in the MCU in the near future, although it's never been made clear whether or not Baccarin would end up getting recast. We got I
gotta say bye to Carlito. If he's even still here, he had to go.
Oh.
So thanks for joining us. I hope you have a good night, Carlito. Thanks for hanging out. It was good. If you are still here, gotta have you on the show sometime for sure.
For real, yeah.
Gotta.
Yeah, have a good night, brother. Let's see where. Okay, oh, so yeah, it was We Got This Covered reports that not only are Marvel very likely to hire a new actress to play Vanessa, but also that they're reportedly looking for an A-list name for the role.
Interesting. Have you dropped Deadpool?
I don't think I've actually
Mickey is
told.
asking.
I don't think I've told our LCS, but my mind's pretty much made up. Like, yeah, I'm gonna drop it. I think. Like, I don't know.
We can no longer be friends. Oh,
What? Who said that?
Mickey. Soldier, have you dropped Deadpool? And he says, wait, we can no longer be friends.
Oh yeah, and you go back to that.
I know a few other people that hate Ryan Reynolds.
No, I didn't say. Oh, he was saying it to Garo, who hates Ryan Reynolds. That's what he meant. We can no longer be friends.
But he's the only one that needs to be there no matter what.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah, he is. He kind of is. I mean,
they can't do him like they did the Hulk.
I mean, I think
They wouldn't be able to pull that off.
I think you can make an argument for Brolin's Cable.
Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
Yup.
I mean, but that's only if he's in the next one, you know.
Yeah.
It would have to be Brolin's Cable. That's
Does
just
the
the
grocery
Cable's
store
even in it.
close
but
early on this Sunday?
I don't know.
I hope not, because we still gotta go to the grocery store.
I know. I'm hurrying.
I'd save it for next one.
See, and
Keep it as a
and the
surprise.
crazy thing is, with Deadpool, since he's meta and self-referential anyways, you can do anything. And especially with them obviously really focusing, with the MCU, really focusing on the multiverse in this next phase. I mean, hell, one of the subtitles of one of the films is In the Multiverse of Madness. And I'm so stoked they got Sam Raimi to direct that.
Interesting.
I'm stoked for that one. I haven't talked about that really yet, but Doctor Strange 2, Sam Raimi directing it, like, yeah,
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to that one.
I'm kind of daydreaming. I gotta go get meds.
I know. I'm trying to think of, let me look real quick here.
No more.
Yeah, there wasn't really much.
I'm kidding.
Okay, so another bit of news that I saw that was being kicked around, it was finally confirmed that a revival of the X-Men animated series has been pitched to Disney. Producer Larry Houston spoke this weekend at a virtual Wizard
To an
World panel
extent.
where he revealed a pitch has been made to Disney to revive the series. The plan would be to continue where we left off. Houston went on to say, quote, "We've had talks, but that's about it. We've made conversation, and it's up to them to make the decision. But we've let them know that we are all available for whatever they want to do in the future." End quote. So that's interesting. As you know, I mean, I watch the animated series pretty much every weekend, both Batman and the X-Men one.
With your cereal in the morning. The
Yep.
Fruit Loops.
Saturday morning cartoons and cereal.
With Fruit Loops with marshmallows.
Fruit Loops with
This is better
marshmallows.
than I thought it was gonna be. It's the green apple one. It's a lot better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, so
But-
I'm really hoping this happens. Yeah, and that's interesting too, with it being off the air for decade and a half, whatever it is, of just picking up where they left off. And then the other bit of news, I didn't see any pictures or anything yet too, just the last thing that I saw is Mattel announcing new He-Man Masters of the Universe toys,
Which is super exciting.
which those are some of my first toys.
Onward, Buttercup. We got shenanigans and fuckery up ahead.
Exactly.
And he sat on his pale horse. I think it's a horse.
I think it was like a
Noble steed.
It wasn't like a stuffed unicorn or something.
Yeah, it was a stuffed unicorn and a black cat.
Most people probably don't even know what we're even talking about at this point.
Probably not. I've been trying to wrap up because I gotta
I
go.
know.
Like,
Every week.
I still have to come back home, go to the grocery store. Like, it's already going on 7 o'clock. I don't know if the grocery store closes early on a Sunday.
All right.
I'm starving.
I am too.
I
So
need
on that
food.
note, another issue in the books.
Thank you all for hanging out and joining us for the time that we were on. We just kind of went off the cuff a little bit. Well, he prepped, but
You wouldn't think I did.
somewhat. No, if I didn't have to go do other stuff, I wouldn't stop you. But
I
I'm
know,
like,
and as we said at the beginning, you know, this is normally our show's on Saturday. We had to do a special
Exactly.
Sunday one, so yeah. This
Well,
isn't-
I look forward to the Hunters tomorrow, and I look forward to plenty of good things. And I thank you all for joining us. Live long and prosper. Be kind to one another.
We love you guys.
Take care and be safe. I gotta go handle shit. Well, not shit, but I gotta go take care of stuff. Gotta be responsible.